Hi, everyone. Welcome to Taking the Pulse, a healthcare and life sciences video podcast. I am Heather Hoops Matthews here with Lauren DeMoss, a healthcare and life sciences attorney with Maynard Nexsen. Lauren, good to be with you.
Thank you so much, Heather. It's great to be here today.
And we are coming to you live from SCbio Annual Conference being held this year in Charleston, South Carolina. It's one of the Southeast premier life sciences events featuring cutting-edge presentation and industry leaders in life science. And we have one of those joining us now. We're just delighted to have with us Daniel Grove. Daniel, you are Director of Human Resources at Lonza, a name well known in this industry, one of the world's largest healthcare manufacturing organizations, helping pharma, biotech, nutrition companies, and more bring their treatments to market. You're known, and we've talked a little bit about where you used to work, so you have a long history of creating positive, inclusive, high-performance atmospheres for your colleagues to really thrive. And you're also on the board of SCbio. You're on the Strategic Advisory Board. So if you can, just start us off with a little bit about your experience, how you got to where you are today, and then we're going to dive into what makes magic happen.
Okay, so I'll start off, and I won't take you too far back, but undergrad in biology, minor in chemistry, and earlier in my career, I started working in the management field. And then in working in the management field, I realized I had a passion for development, people, training, and so naturally I decided, okay, that I'm going to relate that to human resources. And so I started in more of a retail training manager role, migrated to an operational regional manager. And then I, maybe about 15 years ago, kind of morphed into the manufacturing space. So I was the head of HR at a steel manufacturing company. And so there I, learned about operational excellence, environmental health and safety, the importance of bringing the workforce together, keeping them safe from there. Spent about 5 years in the steel industry. And then my most recent venture was with Samsung Electronics Home Appliances in our South Carolina site. So I led HR there for roughly 5 years. And so definitely learned a lot. Very cultural experience. Built a lot of high performing teams while there. And I currently am at Lonza now, and we're located in Greenwood, South Carolina. I've been there for about 1 year, 6 months, and enjoying every moment of it and the purpose and the passion behind what we do at our site and campus there in Greenwood.
Same industry, manufacturing,
Yes.
but going from washing machines to treatments that impact people.
Yes, washing machines to treatment has definitely been a journey. It's definitely been a whole level of GMP and compliance that I've not been exposed to, but have, pretty much grabbed the bull by the horns and learned all I can learn in partnering with leadership to prepare a future-ready workforce.
That's an impressive history, Daniel, really impressive. So I want to start by asking about kind of challenges in HR. And I don't want to be too broad because we could probably talk about challenges in HR all day long, but specifically at Lonza and in a manufacturing company that services life sciences. What are some of the special or unique challenges there?
Well, special or unique challenges, I would say when I talk to my industry peers, even though I feel like our challenges are unique, I realize they really aren't.
Okay.
We all pretty much, especially in the life science, share the same challenges. One is, compliance, being FDA ready 100% of the time. Also preparing a workforce to work in a GMP environment. Because a lot of the manufacturing in South Carolina, we're big on automotive. We have, suppliers to support automotive. So it is a different environment whenever people come into the life space, right? One thing also, I think that would be, that I can talk about a challenge would be just building that future-ready workforce. All too many times, and this is more so, I would say, something that a lot of businesses struggle with is leadership, frontline leadership, development, challenges on that end. So we really have put a lot of emphasis and efforts toward developing our workforce, developing our leaders, and creating that level of engagement.
Yeah, you talk about being in such a highly regulated industry. That makes sense. I didn't think you have kind of your own Lonza policies you want to follow
Correct.
with respect to ethics and workforce, but then you've got a layer on top of that
Yes.
of, the FDA and other industry.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yes.
creates two layers of compliance concerns.
Correct.
In a dynamic industry.
Yes.
Which is constantly changing, and at Lonza serving such a variety of companies in the life sciences space. I'm sure that's added to it. And then, it's Daniel, we need you to recruit more people.
Yes.
So how do you do that for Lonza?
Yes.
Knowing that you're in a state that's known for supporting life sciences, more companies coming here, so more competition for recruitment. What's your secret sauce to get the top talent to Lonza?
Okay. I'm going to go back to the purpose, the mission, what we stand for, what we do. And I've always, one thing that I can say with Lonza is that it feels like a family. The culture is definitely there. We have, employee resource groups that I feel is a very strong recruiting tool, because that is a connection that goes beyond the walls.
Right.
And so if they're in community, if they're engaging, they talk about where they work and how their employers supports and sponsors what they do. So it's about building the connection, because, one of the challenges is our physical location.
Greenwood.
And as we attract talent, we're about an hour outside of Greenville, which is a bigger city. Most people want to live there. We're also about an hour outside of Columbia, which is a bigger city.
Yes.
More people want to live there. Greenwood is a little bit smaller rural area. And so what we try to do is build those connection pieces to say, hey, we exist. We have lakes, we have restaurants on the lake, so we sell the community,
yes.
And we also sell our culture, and we're very active and we're engaged in the community, and to be able to extend our purpose out.
What type of skills? What do you look for in a potential hire?
Yes, and so there are the skill of, for me, service. As we're interviewing folks, regardless of what level, whether you're a technician or whether you're a scientist, right? We wanna get a chance to know the deeper you, to see if you fit within the culture, and so we can actually have a high level of retention. So if you ever make a visit to our site, and we our doors are open and we welcome a lot of people in, we have a quarter-century club wall. And that's people who have served and been at the company for at least 25 years. And we'll put a medallion on the wall with their name on it. And every year in Greenwood, we'll host a quarter-century club reunion. So if you serve 25 years, even if you retire, we keep your contact information. We invite you back, and it's like a big reunion every year. And it's very important and connected to the community. Even so much so, we had one of our retirees pass away, and in their obituary, it mentioned that they were a member of the Lonza's quarter-century club.
Yeah. That's really something, and I suppose those relationships bleed into the community,
Correct.
which help you for retaining, recruiting.
Yes.
Yes.
And do you feel like, you sell the community, you have this quarter-century club. In terms of new talent coming in, what other kind of retention mechanisms are there? Because, you get to the quarter-century, you have exhibited service to the company, but I guess in those early years, what else do you do to kind of keep folks there?
All right. So what we do, I'm gonna kind of channel it back to the ERGs as well. We have a lot of different groups, and one thing that we have done is being able to exercise our philosophy of come, grow, and stay. So in order for you to come to us, we're in human nature, we all want to know what's in it for me, right? So we have to talk about our development programs. We have a very rich tuition reimbursement process. And one thing that I want to highlight is we have, for our professional roles, 46% of the time we hire from within. So being able to show that story, being able to let them know what the area of opportunity and growth is, showing them how we invest in our talent because we have a plethora of training opportunities. LMS system is pretty robust. We have coaching programs, mentorships, and even our talent mobility is endless. So after 1 year of service, you basically are in the driver's seat of your career. And we try to talent map, but we have people that go into unconventional roles. And so we don't like to box a person in because we'll give everyone an opportunity as long as they're willing to try.
Right.
That's great.
So you're showing them the runway,
Correct.
really, of how they can progress
Correct.
within the company?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
What are your young people that you're recruiting now? What are they desiring? Is it different from what you've seen in your other careers at other places?
It's similar.
Okay.
The flexibility is definitely a desire that I'm seeing, right? Autonomy is another. And so being able to, and again, we can talk about a challenge and a benefit at the same time, is we balance, we are manufacturing, it's a touch-based workforce, right? But one thing that we sell on, and we're 24/7, so someone's always having to be there. But we have flexible scheduling as far as one thing, our selling points is you work half of the year if you're on the technician side of the business, right, or the operative side. Within our flexibility 24/7 schedule, it's predictable. You know what days you're going to work a year in advance, so you can plan your life around that. And so we definitely capitalize on that. Also, a lot of people are green these days. We have complimentary charging if you come on site. And so we sell that as well. And some of our physicians that are not necessarily connected to the site, we have hybrid and flexible schedules for those individuals as well. So, it's not a one size fits all, but we do take things case by case, job, family by job, family, and we try to have the most beneficial process that benefits everyone.
Yeah. Really pouring into those employees and meeting them where they are.
Correct.
Yeah.
Understanding what they need. So, and we definitely leverage our engagement surveys, and we take action and look at those lowest scoring questions and ways that we can make it better. And, one thing that we continuously, if we have a roundtable meeting and we're soliciting feedback from our colleagues, if they're not saying anything and they're like, well, we're content, we're happy, we're good, I'm the person who takes it overboard to say, what can we do to make it perfect? Like, I understand we're okay, but what can we do to make your life better?
Right, continually improve.
Continuous improvement.
As we were getting ready for this discussion, you mentioned about humanizing what you do. Could you share a little bit more about that?
Yes, I mean, it goes back to the story. We had a roundtable meeting, and there was one of our colleagues who was in the meeting. She's a trainer, and she was talking about, she found out that one of the medications that her daughter takes, that we produce the capsules that the medication goes in. And so she's basically said whenever she brings someone in and she trains them, she tells them the story about, this is the medication for my child. So it puts that personal aspect to it. It puts that, it puts pretty much the purpose behind, and it ties in the purpose and the commitment behind what we're doing. And so when I heard that story, I thought to myself, I want someone producing medication with that same mindset, with that same level of quality and care as they produce the process.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's something I really love about the life sciences industry, that the human aspect of it, what you're doing and how it directly touches, so many, and the stories they take from it. So to turn that into kind of how you look at your role in HR is, it's a huge benefit.
And I want to add to, as we have had roundtables in the past, and if I had to say the top 3 things that people say about working for Lonza, because the question that we ask is, what's your favorite thing about working here? And the number one thing that people say is the purpose and the mission and the products that we produce every day is life-changing. And so that's the number one reason that our colleagues enjoy working for our company. The number 2 reason are the colleagues and the way that they're treated by the people around them. And then the third reason that people give us and what they enjoy most about it is the compensation. And so that's a very important driver of the things that people come to work for. But I think we have it right when people say that they're tied to the mission and the passion first and foremost.
And the fact that the first two come before the compensation.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
That is very telling that there's something deeper there. Well, I think that probably speaks to the phenomenal job you're doing.
Yes, and I think that also ties into the products and the level of quality that we get from and the feedback that we receive from our customers. That's the reason, though, we're the #1 hard empty capsule manufacturer in the U.S., right? Mm-hmm. It comes back to hiring people who are dedicated, people who put quality first, and people who, again, going back to what their colleagues said, produce like they're producing it for someone in their family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're the gatekeeper to make sure that you get the mission-minded people in the door.
Yes.
Daniel Grove, thank you so much for joining us today, Director of Human Resources at Lonza. We hope you have a great experience here at the SCbio Annual Conference.
Yes, I'm having a fantastic time. I'm having a great time building a relationship, and thank you for having me on here and interviewing me.
Thank you.
All right.
For those of you who joined us today, we hope you enjoyed this conversation about how to get the right people at the right time for your company, especially in this dynamic industry of life sciences. On behalf of Lauren and the whole crew, we wish you the best, and we look forward to seeing you next time right here on Taking the Pulse, a healthcare and life sciences video podcast.